mysterious place for the majority of internet users, hidden from the prying eyes of governments, companies and security agencies. A whole host of illicit activities can be found deep beneath the surface of conventional search engines. The deep web has developed a bad reputation as a platform for drug marketplaces, Silk Road, explicit and illegal pornography, and even hitmen services. But it might not just be criminals and people wanting privacy logging in. The government itself could be exploiting this system anonymity, lurking in the shadows so it can monitor illicit activity and communicate in secret. Anonymous communication across the internet was the brainchild of the US Navy in the 1990s. The military hoped to create a platform for intelligence officers, foreign dissidents, and police forces to use so they could communicate and conduct covert investigations on targets without others being aware. In 2004, the Navy cut its funding for the program and released the licensing into the public domain. The anonymous communication service rolled out to the public was a router called Tor. This private browser uses volunteer computers to bounce signals around the globe, disguising the IP address of a computer so it supposedly can't be traced. However, investigative journalist Yasha Levine believes the government's involvement in the program didn't end in 2004. It's claimed that everybody involved in developing Tor technology has been or is still funded by the Pentagon or a related arm of the US empire. The two major developers of Tor, Roger Dingledine and Nick Mathewson, were contracted by the Defense's Advanced Research Projects Agency, an advanced researcher for the Department of Defense. The government is still funding the Tor program, and in 2013 donated $1.8 million to it. Why would the government continue to support a program that is notoriously used by criminals, pedophiles, and terrorists? The official story is that the government funds the deep web because it enables freedom of speech. The Tor system can bypass censorship in countries that restrict media, such as in China. America advocates the use of the technology because it can circumvent the Great Firewall and allow citizens to access world news websites and social networks like Facebook. The vast size of the deep web is also beneficial to the US government. At 500 times the size of the surface web, it's a great place to hide vast databases. But there is evidence to suggest that there are ulterior motives behind the government's involvement in the deep web. The deep web may in fact be a win-win situation for the government, where it gets anonymous communications between its own assets, whilst the National Security Agency tracks those who are using the system for illegal means. Yasha Levine states the government may have deliberately designed the deep web with the public in mind. This is because, according to Levine, if the system were used solely by military and intelligence services, then every time digital signals were intercepted by outside sources, they could instantly recognize where these confidential communication lines were coming from. So, in order to disguise secret government information, the best way would be to hide it amongst thousands of public signals, blending them in with the general population. On top of that, the NSA is then apparently able to track the public's usage of the service, providing Tor as a web service that merely gives the illusion of anonymity. In July 2014, German TV channel Das Erste claimed that if you merely search for Tor on a conventional search engine, the NSA then tracks you by following your digital fingerprints, which Edward Snowden described as tagging individuals or groups. Then the NSA is able to store and see all of a person's internet usage. It's even been claimed that the NSA owns some of the volunteer servers that Tor uses to bounce the signals around the world, which means the government can directly tap into the system. According to Gwen Branwen, this has already resulted in the arrests of over 300 people affiliated with the dark web since 2011. And these are just the cases reported by popular deep websites. The Guardian newspaper has also reported that it was, in fact, the NSA that helped the CIA track down 4 drug distributors in the UK who were associated with Silk Road. So it may indeed be the case that the NSA is monitoring the deep web, while government agencies and the military hide in plain sight.